All right, guys. So I'm going to tell you guys a story about working in the business. Difference between a union shop and a non-union shop. There's many differences. I'm going to give you my experiences. I'm going to give you two experiences, and I worked. Both of them are hotel union shops because some really large restaurants have union. Like I worked in the Tavern in the Green. Well, somewhat like I worked there. I trailed at Tavern in the Green, and they were a union shop. They were back and forth to union, whatever. But hotels, I worked in one union shop. The union was barely like you didn't have to worry about them unless if you had to take action with one of the employees. So I dealt with them when I had to get rid of an employee that was basically sleeping on the job. He'd go on breaks and he would fall asleep, and it was not one thing. He would just do it over and over again. So it was like his thing. He would just whatever sleep. I It came up to my attention, so of course I had to bring it up to HR, and then HR basically they wanted, we end up having to terminate the person. But before we terminated him, we had a meeting with the union and him and myself, and I mean it was a pretty straight cut case. So it happened, and the union they listened and everything, but they were not assholes. They were just, they were there to make sure that nothing was, off, and everything was pretty straightforward, and that's what it was. Fast forward a couple years later, I go to a union shop. This happened in New Jersey. So and then I go to another union shop in New York, and I don't even know why I'm thinking about it. I'm just maybe I had too many frosty beverages. I don't know, but I go to New York, and I'm a chef at a hotel, big hotel, and I'm not gonna say the name. It was on Lexington Ave. Let's just say that big hotel over there. And I was also in the military at that time, so I was like, this is in between. I was like a reservist, not a reservist. I was National Guard, and this is my full-time job. So as I'm doing this job, I go in there, and I was told off the bat, the union is very strong in this hotel, very very strong. And I could probably tell you the name. I'll probably tell if you guys even care. I'm not gonna say it now, but I could mention it to you guys later if it matters. The hotel's not even open anymore now, and I knew it was not going to be open because the union, sadly. And that's another story or another explanation if you guys want to hear. So, I start the job off. They know a little bit of my background. The union does. They know more about my background that I let out to give, but they know. They found out. They did the research. Very heavy union book. So they start telling me, yeah, the union is really strong. They like, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I just came from a union hotel not too long ago. How crazy can this be? Yeah, it was crazy. It was, it was, it was. I don't want to say the word. It was. I'll keep it. I keep the language as nice as I can. It was stupid. It was just stupid. It was bad. And it's, you know me. Look, I guess they raised the volume. I hope this microphone does well. As soon as I start talking out here, I can't. I could enjoy I just can't do anything out here that I want to do, for some reason in my backyard. Either the dog stops me, or now they're having a party. That Bad Bunny was out there early. Apparently, I don't know. I just heard Bad Bunny. It sounded like he was out there. It's so loud. But I go to the hotel. They tell me the union shop, yada yada yada. Wow, now they screaming. It sounds like they're having a live concert out there. Yeah, of course it gets that loud as soon as I start doing the video. You guys don't believe me. I'm telling you, it's very difficult to make these videos. I try to make it as nice as possible or quick as possible, but interruptions are amazing. So I'm doing the video. Look at that. Now it got me off my thoughts. I'm not going to edit this. I'm just going to let you guys know. So I meet the big union person at the hotel. They go to shake. I go to shake the person's hand because I'm a normal human being. The person doesn't raise their hand, and they look at me up and down like I'm freaking like I'm in the street, basically. And look, I'm from New York, and that stare was like basically like if you were in the street and you just meet somebody and they don't like you very much, and they're just like, it's gonna be a fight or something. And that's my introduction to the union in this hotel. And like, what the fuck is going on here? That's just literally my whole thing. I was like, what the fuck is going on? No, they were fucked up. That hotel was fucked up. The union controlled that hotel. That hotel had no control. But that's what it was. So to the point that the union had the people being with this attitude of you against us, meaning the union against the damn hotel. And this is why I say that that hotel was not gonna be open when the whole pandemic and everything happened, because that hotel could not lift a finger. It couldn't change the structure or anything without the union saying okay. So what that means is sometimes business is not making as much money and they got to make adjustments. And apparently the union doesn't care if the place closed down as long as they get their money while they're open. And I knew that was going to happen because I looked back. I don't know, for some weird reason, I looked back and I looked at the hotel. All the other, don't get me wrong, other hotels closed, but this hotel shouldn't have closed down. It was a good location. They were closed down during the COVID. And I know because you can't make any adjustments in that hotel. It was pretty fucked up. It was pretty fucked up. And with that being said, one last thing I said, I had a union delegate, really nice guy, and he was actually pissed off with the union, but he was a delegate, and that's how bad the union was in his hotel. He came up to me one day. He would just come to my office all the time, and nobody knew that he was basically trying to get rid of like some of the bad shit that was going on at the kitchen that I could not, normally you couldn't get rid of because the union was basically making sure all of these bad habits were okay or whatever, or saving these people from doing bad shit. And there was a lot of bad shit. It's really disappointing. It's almost like the whole thing is like, there's nothing wrong with the union, but if anything has too much strength or too much power, it's not good. And that was the case with this place. The union had way too much power, and that hotel, like I said, had no control really of the hotel, the management company. So this is where it gets fucked up. He told me, don't ever take any food if any of the cooks offer you to cook you some food. He said he knows that in the past when chefs have come in here and other managers, they offered them food, especially he mentioned a couple of the cooks. He's like, they will spit in your food. Like they will spit in your food because they just hate you. They don't know you, but they hate you because basically the union has that mentality of like you against me. And I know this right here is not going to be very popular, but I'm just telling you my story. I know people are not going to like to hear, especially people that are in the union. It's nothing against the union, I'm telling you guys. But again, anything that has too much power is never good. Too much of anything is never good. And that was a really good example. And that was a good example of me getting turned off of the union, how bad it can be if it's too much control. So that was it, man. I have a bunch of other stuff with that same hotel that you would not believe, but I'm just gonna keep it there because I'm trying to keep it under 10 minutes. I was trying to keep it under 5, but whatever. Peace, be safe.